Every video and episode of the It's Cavalier podcast is made possible by my supporters over on Patreon. If you enjoy the show here today, consider signing up. You'll get early access, exclusive videos, podcasts, member shoutouts, and more. And as always, thank you for watching. Go Cavs.
I'm sitting there and I'm just watching this game. And honestly, I don't even know where to start sometimes because there was just so much that we saw tonight. It's kind of like a sensory overload kind of thing out there. So I guess we'll jump into the Jaylon Tyson of it all. Here's the thing with Jaylon Tyson, right? Defensively, he was popping off the screen tonight. There were two blocks in particular that he had where one was a weak side block and one was directly at the rim. We just went up and rejected a shot right out there. And his stat line, he would finish with 0 points. That's the one thing that I think a lot of people are going to look at. But if you're watching specifically from a box score standpoint, you will not appreciate what Jaylon Tyson did out there tonight, because defensively, he did a lot of big things, whether that was screen navigation or staying assigned to the players out there, chasing them around screens, through screens, whether that was weak side help down in the post area, whether that was transition defense. This dude was doing a little bit of it all on the defensive end, kind of looking like Isaac Okoro out there at points, but with the rebound, but with the blocking aspect to it. So if you're looking at the box score purely, if you didn't have the opportunity to watch this game live, you're just looking at the 0 that he put up, the goose egg that he put up in the points area, you're probably going to be a little disappointed. But I was really impressed with what Jaylon Tyson brought to the table, drawing that start at the 2. Now, that being said, I'm not going to just sugarcoat everything. One of the things that we kept hearing from Reggie Miller, if you listen to the Peacock broadcast, and that's a whole nother topic within itself, hate the fact that you got to get all these different subscriptions now to watch these games, unless you're using, a free service or whatnot. We all know what those are. I'm not going to point any out in particular, right? I'm not going to throw anybody under the under the bus or get called out for it. But Jaylon Tyson, one of the things that was brought up on the broadcast was that, if he's going to be out there for a sustained amount of time, what he is going to have to do is knock down those triples, right? Reggie Miller was 1000% correct when he said that Jaylon Tyson needed to be able to knock down the triple if he is to be able to remain in the rotation full time, especially considering that the defense is almost certainly going to continue to sag off of him on each attempt. And I mean, we've been watching this team for quite some time now, right? I mean, obviously I'm a lifelong fan, but some of you out there, I'm sure you can say the same thing about yourselves. And the one thing that we could have said over the past 5 seasons is that this is exactly what we dealt with Isaac Okoro, right? It's the Isaac Okoro dilemma. He's got to be able to knock that shot down, especially off of drive and kicks when the other guards or ball handlers collapse the paint on dribble drives. He's got to be able to knock that shot down, whether it's from the corners, above the break, the slots, wherever, what have you. Jaylon Tyson is going to have to be able to knock down that shot. Now, keep in mind that this is a player that shot just 34.5% from three-point distance last year during his rookie year, right? 20 of 58 to be exact. And to make matters worse, he shot just 32.1% on catch and shoot looks. Do I take that percentage? Do I take those numbers as a definitive answer on whether or not he can shoot? Do I take the 0 of 5 night that he had from the field, and all of those being 3-point opportunities, by the way? Do I take that and immediately write him off? Absolutely the fuck not, right? Just one preseason game. Can't get too high, too low. Can't get too high, too low on the rookie year percentages either for a guard / a wing, whatever you consider Jaylon Tyson to be. But the confidence, the willingness to take that shot is something that Isaac oftentimes did not have. We'll talk about him in just a minute. Same can be said for a player like Dean Wade at times. Jaylon Tyson, he will actually pull the trigger. We saw him do it during Summer League action. We saw him do it at points during last season, and we saw him do it again tonight. So I do believe that will come around eventually, but it is worth noting that the percentages have not looked good dating back to last season. So a little bit of good or a little bit of bad with the good, right? You got to put a little bit of salt in there. But overall, I enjoyed watching Jaylon Tyson out there tonight, especially on the other end of the floor. And I know that a lot of you guys did too. Speaking of Isaac Okoro, by the way, big fan of Isaac Okoro, kind of always have been. But you guys know that I was kind of leading the charge in regard to trading for Lonzo, including Isaac Okoro in that deal constantly. And I'm glad that they were able to get the job done. But I did like what I saw out of Isaac on the other end, too. 3 of 7 from the field, 11 points. He did turn the ball over 5 times, was really sloppy with it. Whenever he had the opportunity to handle, and that's not really what he does. He was just 2 of 6 from 3-point distance. But again, 6 3-point attempts in that starting lineup where presumably that's where he's going to be throughout the duration of the season for Chicago. But I think that this is probably going to be the first season of his career where he actually gets enough touches to crack double-digit scoring figures over there, because Lord knows, with such a talented team, so much offensively skilled players on this Cleveland Cavaliers roster, he was never going to get that here. So if nothing else, I wish Isaac Okoro the best. I think that one of the things that he brought to the table tonight was that back cut. Chicago as a whole, they were killing Cleveland on back cuts. I don't know if there were just defensive miscues and miscommunications out there, and you can expect that for a second unit that's trying to implement and integrate pieces that in the back end, and you can understand why you might have some of those, and that'll come in time. But they were definitely getting Cleveland on those backdoor cuts, and Isaac Okoro was a big part of that. So happy to see him doing well over there. Going to be rooting for him, except for when the Bulls play the Cavs. But I was pleasantly surprised to see some of what Isaac brought to the table tonight.